If you're trying to understand what's really happening in the Boca Raton real estate market right now, this is the clearest way I can break it down because the truth is simple. There is not just one Boca market, there are multiple, and they're not moving the same way. Condos, single-family homes, and luxury properties operate under different conditions, different buyer behavior, and different levels of demand. Looking at Boca as one uniform market is misleading. If you're a buyer right now, here's what matters. Properly priced homes are still selling. Not necessarily instantly like the peak years with multiple offers on day one, but they are transacting. The mistake I see buyers make is waiting for the perfect clarity, waiting for the moment where everything feels obvious and easy. That moment usually does not come. Opportunity here is about precision, knowing what you want, understanding value, and being ready to act when the right property appears, even if the broader market still feels uncertain. Because the reality is this: the best opportunities in Boca right now don't look like dramatic discounts. They look like well-priced homes that haven't been overexposed or overhyped. And most buyers miss them because they're waiting for something that looks like a deal instead of something that actually holds value. One of the biggest shifts I'm seeing right now is in renovations. We moved from an HGTV-driven mindset where buyers wanted projects and an upside to a certainty-driven market where most buyers just want a finished product and predictability. And that shift has created a very specific opportunity. Homes that are simply outdated. Not broken, but priced like they require more risk than they actually do. On the seller side, the dynamic is more sensitive than most people realize. Pricing is not just a number right now. It is the key component to your entire strategy because the first couple of weeks on the market define the trajectory of your listing. If a property launches correctly, it generates attention, activity, and leverage. If it launches incorrectly, it tends to drift, and once it drifts, you're negotiating from a position of time instead of strength. Buyers today are not absent, they are selective. They're comparing, analyzing, and moving quickly on something when it feels misaligned with value. So overpricing doesn't create leverage in this market. It creates buyer silence, and that silence is what ultimately costs most sellers money. There's another layer most people overlook, and that's rentals, because rental activity is often where you see early demand before it shows up in purchases. In Boca, I'm seeing more seasonal renters and relocation-driven tenants testing the area before committing long-term. That matters because it reflects real movement underneath the surface of the sales market. Now, it's not predictive in a perfect sense, but it does reflect early-stage demand entering the system. So, when you zoom out, here's the simplest way to understand Boca right now. It's not necessarily a hot market or a cold market, it's a segmented market, and results depend entirely on whether you're analyzing the right segment. If you want a real specific read on your property, or you're trying to understand where opportunity actually exists instead of guessing, reach out. I'm Adam Gutmann. Call me.